Welcome to my new series, Introduction to SolidWorks. My aim is to make this series an easy to follow course geared toward new users who have never opened this program before. Let's get into it. This is what you should see when you first open SolidWorks. The welcome screen holds some quick access to recent parts you've worked on, recent folders, resources, along with part, assembly, and blueprint drawings. Avoid moving parts after you've saved them, or as you see, SolidWorks won't be able to locate them on its own and you will have to do it yourself. We will start with creating your first part. If the welcome screen does not automatically appear, we can create a part simply by going to File, New. Part is used to make individual parts. Assemblies are used to combine parts into a finished product or design. Drawings are used to create manufacturing blueprints and assembly drawings. We will select part for this video. A new document will open. If your workspace window is free floating like mine is, this is easily fixed by double clicking the top bar. All parts are dimensioned in units. We will work with millimeters for this project. We can quickly check and change our units in the bottom right corner here. Off to the left of our workspace is our part tree. Here you will find all the features, sketches, and anything else you have done in the workspace. We can click on items to select them or hover over top of them to see an outline of the item that you are after. Currently, our planes are not displaying. We can change this by clicking on the eye within the workspace. If the boxes around the views are darkened, then this means it's selected. We will click on the image of the three planes. Now our planes will be viewable. Clicking on a plane will allow for quick access to sketch, hide, zoom, and normal to our planes. We will select normal to so we may sketch on a plane with ease. Here you will find the different panels available. We will mainly work with the features and sketch tabs. First, we need to create a sketch, so we will select the sketch tab. Once selected, click on sketch in the top left corner. This will create a new sketch. Now to the right, we will find our sketching tools. We will use a centered rectangle for this video. You can select this with the drop down menu arrow to the right of the rectangle if it is not automatically selected. Now we can sketch. Sometimes it may be hard to select the origin. If so, we can fix this by temporarily hiding planes by just clicking on the eye that we use to display the planes. This will temporarily hide the planes so we can click on the origin. Make a rectangle, and it doesn't matter how big it is because we still need to define it. Now once we have sketched the rectangle, we may define it. We can do this by selecting Smart Dimension beside the sketch button. We can define two ways, by either selecting the line we want to dimension or selecting two lines to get the distance between them. We will make this rectangle 100 millimeters long and 50 millimeters high. Let's make a block now. We need to change to the Features tab to do so. Once selected, click on the Extruded Boss/Base. It will open a property panel within our part tree. Once opened, change the extrude to 25 millimeters. There are multiple ways to extrude. For this, we will stick with blind for now. We can also change the extrude direction by clicking the arrows to the left of the drop down menu where blind is. Click the green check mark to create the block. Clicking on a face opens a menu similar to planes. Select normal 2, then click on it again to select sketch. Now we are going to sketch a circle on the origin like we did with the rectangle. We then need to dimension the circle the same way we did with the rectangle. Select Smart Dimension, then click on the circle. This allows us to define the diameter. For this circle, the diameter is 30 millimeters. Now we are going to extrude this the same way as the rectangle, but instead of 25 millimeters, we are going to do a 40 millimeter extrude. Sometimes it may be difficult to select the face you're after. Either rotate with the middle mouse button, or you can hide your planes again with the eye. To have SolidWorks normal to a sketch automatically, we can go into Settings, Sketch, and select the first checkbox. You may also select Only use defined sketches to prevent underdefined work. Click OK and begin a sketch on the top circular face. Sketch a circle on the origin like we just did. We will make this diameter 20 millimeters. We're going to make a cut here. To do this, select Extruded Cut up in the Feature tab. We can have a blind hole, although we want this to cut through the whole part. From the drop down menu, select Through All and you'll see the preview change. Click on the green check mark when you have finished. We have now made a cut through the entire part. If you would like to change your view, this can quickly be done by hitting Ctrl +7, and this will take you into the isometric view. Now we're going to add a fillet. We're going to fillet the 4 corners of the block and the center circle base. This can be done one of 2 ways. If you're going to do specific edges, you may click on each edge. If you make a mistake while clicking on an edge, you may easily deselect this by looking at items to fillet, right clicking on the edge you do not want, and clicking delete. You may also clear all selections. For this, since we know that we are going to fillet everything on this face, another easy way to do this is just selecting the face itself. Now when we have done that, unfortunately nothing has shown up in the preview. This tells us that our radiuses are way too big, so we're going to change this radius to 3 millimeters. Now we have a nice filleted part. You can tell because all the edges that we want filleted have now been rounded over. Now we will add a chamfer to the top of our center circle extrude. This time, unfortunately, we cannot click on the face because we only want the outside to be chamfered. So we're going to clear that selection, select the outside of the circle, and we are able to change either the distance of the chamfer and also the angle of this chamfer. For this, we are going to do 2 millimeters at 45 degrees. Once you're happy with it, select the green check mark, and now we have a new chamfer on our part. From here you may want to select a material that this part will be made out of. This can easily be done in the left tree pane and right clicking where you see material not specified. Down below we have some favorites for quick access. If you don't have these, unfortunately, it's easy enough to select the material you want by going into edit material. This will bring up a material window with a lot of different materials. In the right is a whole bunch of properties related to that material. We're going to select wood for this. I prefer to use maple. You can select any other wood type you want. Feel free to play around with it. This is where you're going to select the materials you will be making parts out of. There are different display states that you may use while building a part or viewing a part. I prefer to keep it into shaded with edges, but there is just shaded, there's wireframe, and there's wireframe with hidden lines. I can't remember what the last one is called. Now to finish off, we're going to add a shell. This is as easy as going up and clicking shell in your features tab, selecting the face you want to shell, and then just defining the shell thickness. This should be a smaller number because this is going to be the thickness of the edges of your part. Click on show preview and it'll give you an idea of what your part will look like. Now if you see, it has hollowed out the inside of our little block here, kind of like a Lego block. That's all a shell feature is. Congratulations, you have made your first part. I hope it wasn't too difficult to follow along with. If you liked the video, maybe subscribe, share it with your friends. There will be a lot more videos contributing towards learning SolidWorks for beginners, so keep checking back for new videos every week.